Hi, this is another very interesting episode of Insurance with Hari. With my experience of working with the general insurance industry and health insurance industry for the last 25 plus years, I want to share with all of you a very good product, according to me, a flagship product again from the stable of Niva Bupa Health Insurance. Niva Bupa has been in operation in the country since 2010, and since then I've been observing their products and innovations, and this one particular product I think has been a game changer for Niva Bupa, and it is called none other than ReAssure 2.0. And the big thing about ReAssure 2.0 is that there were certain things which were holding it back, but the current modifications that has happened in the ReAssure 2.0 has made it another interesting product in the health sector to watch out for. I'm going to detail out the product for you to understand what it means and how it can be beneficial, and for who are the people who should look at the ReAssure 2.0 is something which is very, very important in this particular series total. The most important thing to start with is 3 industry leading benefits. These are 3 benefits that they are talking about, which I also completely agree with Niva Bupa in terms of these are features which makes it very, very different and makes it very good and comparative in the market. The first one is the Booster X product. So the Booster X is something which is very interesting because some of the people used to always come back to me with only one thing, saying that in the last year I had a 10 lakh cover and I didn't utilize, or I didn't make a claim, and I've not made a claim in the last 3 years. What do I get as a benefit? So no claim bonus of 10%, 20%, it was very less. But the Booster X is going to carry forward any unused sum insured to the next year policy. That means if you have a 10 lakh policy, actually it will become 1 crore 10 lakh in 10 years. So this is for the Titanium Plus. For a Platinum, it is still 5x, and for the Bronze, it's still 3x. But if you opt for the Titanium X plan of the ReAssure 2.0, then you get 10x booster benefit. Now, how is it different from an Aspire? There's another product called Aspire with Niva Bupa. Aspire gives us 10x benefit only if you're less than 35. So when you look at Aspire and ReAssure 2.0, I mean, for me, I think anybody who is above 35 years should look at ReAssure 2.0 as the first product that they would want to enter into. Because in ReAssure 2.0, you get a 10x benefit. So which is, again, I feel it is something which is fantastic. The second important thing for me is a ReAssure benefit. The ReAssure benefit is nothing but when you have the first claim, the ReAssure gets triggered. The ReAssure means is that if you have a 10 lakh policy and if you made a claim of 5 lakhs, the balance sum insured is only 5 lakhs. When the ReAssure triggers, that means you get an additional 10 lakhs to your account. And this trigger will stay forever. That means in the next year, that means if you had a claim in the first year, okay, the ReAssure is triggered, so it becomes like, say, 15 lakhs right now in your kitty. And next year, if you do not make a claim, and I did not make a second claim after that, and in the second year, automatically it will become a base coverage of 10 lakhs plus a restoration of 10 lakhs is already added in your policy. And it is unlimited number of restoration, and this restoration is unlimited, and the beauty is that it can be claimed for the same illness as well. So for chronic illness, like say for example like a dialysis or for a chemo, and for all those things when you have to continuously go for claim after claim, I feel that this could be really, really beneficial, and it is something which is again too good to be true. I mean, for me, I always ask this question because you're paying a premium for a sum insured, and if you're going to keep it unlimited and if it can be used forever, it could be a huge, for me, huge constraint from a claims team point of view. But then that's something which is a product feature right now, and I feel that something which we should be very happy about. So what happens if you don't make the claim? If you make the claim, you're happy because you're getting ReAssure benefit and you're getting unlimited number of coverage in terms of the product and all that. And if you don't make the claim, the third feature stands out, which is nothing but lock the clock. So this is again very interesting because a lot of the people who do not make the claim, they always come back and say, why is my premium increasing year on year when I'm not making the claim? So the lock the clock benefit here really helps because your premium is then fixed to the age that you have taken the policy unless you don't make a claim. So again, if your premium is say around say 13,000 when you took the policy, and you till the time you don't make the claim, it will remain at the same thing. But again, here there's one caveat you should understand. It is only to your age it is locked. But if there's a product revision, and at the product revision, if the premium of that particular age increases, then definitely that is something which will impact you completely. So now we will look into the product features and the product construct of ReAssure 2.0 in detail. The first and most important thing is the inpatient care, which includes Ayush and modern treatments, and that's something which is covered up to the sum insured, be it the Bronze Plus, Platinum Plus or Titanium Plus. These are three major plans that is offered under ReAssure 2.0, and the pre-hospitalization expenses is covered up to 60 days, and the post-hospitalization expenses also covered up to 180 days. Again, when you compare it to the market, I mean, again, I'm not going back to the early days where it was only 30 and 60. With the product and the market innovations, everybody in the market today normally covers up to 63 and 180 post-hospitalization. Again, the comparison for ReAssure is with a Care Supreme plan, is with a HDFC Optima Secure plan, and also with ICICI Elevate plan. So I think these are the major plans with which ReAssure is competing today. The feature of lock the clock, I don't see in any of the other plans. Lock the clock is very interesting because it is where your premium is getting locked with the age until you make a claim. But again, you have to be watchful. Bronze Plus, it is not available, it's restricted, but whereas in Platinum Plus and Titanium Plus, the coverage is available. The booster is something which everybody is looking at. That is something which has got a 3x cover when it comes to bronze, but platinum it's 5x, and in titanium it is 10x. So if you're really looking at for a good coverage, you should look at getting the Titanium Plus cover. ReAssure Forever, which is again the USP kind of a feature in the product, it is again covered across your bronze, platinum and titanium as well. Annual health checkup is something which is covered from day one, but it's only on cashless basis and it is covered across all the three plans. Again, you should download your Niva Bupa app once your policy is issued to you, and then from the app you will be able to do your annual health checkup. So that's something which you can also note. And also it's very important for the app to be there because the Live Healthy benefit, where you're getting a 30% discount, is available only if you register on the app and you do the number of steps. So roughly I think it is required to do about 9,000-10,000 steps. If you are able to do consistently, you can get discounts up to 30% in an individual policy and 15% in a floater policy. It's actually a huge benefit. I have got clients in the past who come back to me and who have done those number of steps because they are people who want to live healthy and they have got the benefit of this discount. So it's actually very important to do this. One is taking care of your health, and the other thing is getting discounts on your renewal premium as well. And then coming to the organ donor expenses, again something which is covered up to sum insured. Again, this is not something which is very unique in the market, but definitely it's a very important coverage to be there. Emergency ambulance for road and ambulance, again it's covered across all the three plans. Home care or domiciliary treatment, again something which is covered across all the plans. Again, very standard in the market as well. Shared accommodation is a very interesting thing. The Niva Bupa is going to give you a extra benefit, or going to give you, compensate you for opting for shared room. So we also understand that if you go for a shared room, your total medical expenses will be on the lower side. E-consultation, again it's unlimited. Second opinion is also covered. Again, these are benefits which is there in the plan. How much of it is going to be really used is something which is to be watched out. Most of us are comfortable going to our family doctors or corporate hospitals where we get the treatment. So again there is availability there in the insurance policy. How much of it we use or not is something which we will see as we move forward. Again, a lot of optional riders are also there in the policy. For example, personal accident coverage is available. More and more personal accident is becoming more and more relevant. You can see the number of accidents are only increasing, be it road traffic accidents or even the airline accident, or for that matter, you can just slip and fall in your house. So any kind of an accidental death or disability, it's also a huge financial strain on the family. So at a nominal premium, you can get the personal accident rider, something which is very interesting, something which can be taken with the health policy itself, up to 5x of your base sum insured. or maximum up to 1 crore is available within the policy, something which can be looked into. So in the earlier Niva Bupa, when they came up with the safeguard, they had only one list, and again customers were not very satisfied because again they ended up paying a lot of money from their pocket. So then Niva Bupa put that effort in, and now they come up with the Safeguard Plus rider, which is again very interesting because in the Safeguard Plus rider, they have now list 1, 2, 3, 4, and this list across, and they've become more comprehensive, to be very honest with you, because I had one customer who very recently had a claim at a corporate hospital, and the bill was almost 12 lakhs with Niva Bupa, and it was a ReAssure policy with Safeguard Plus, and the customer had to pay only 1 rupee to get discharged from the hospital. That's a great feeling, right? You have a 12 lakh bill and you don't have to pay anything, and you just pay 1 rupee. So that's something which I have personally have witnessed, and that's one reason I'm also here to be able to talk about the product, because I have been associated with the product from a customer side, and I've seen how the product has worked, and I'm here also to share my experience of being in the industry for like 25 years in terms of why insurance is also very, very important. And when it comes to hospital cash, of course, benefit is available up to 4,000 rupees per day. Again, something which you asked me personally, would I recommend it? I really don't, because it's again additional premium that you need to pay. But the advantage is that in case of any hospitalization, it also helps you to meet those incidental expenses. So again, it's like a catch-22. It's a good rider. But do I recommend it? I really don't recommend, because I feel that it's just another additional amount to be paid. The other rider which is very interesting is annual aggregate deductible. The aggregate deductible is nothing but works like a top-up, where you have a deductible of 20,000, 30, 40, 50 and a lakh. These are only 4 options. There is a small deductible which is there. That means in case of any claim, that deductible has to be paid by the customer. There's only once a year. It's not for multiple claims. And then what happens is that by paying the deductible, you are able to reduce your premium impact immediately. So if you are ready to pay the deductible in case of a claim, you will get a discount on the premium. That also I will explain a little bit more in detail in the next slides. Smart Health Plus is a coverage which is really for people who have diabetes and hypertension, and who wants day one cover for diabetes and hypertension. This is something which is possible now in ReAssure plan by opting for the Smart Health Plus cover, and that will give you a day one cover. So that's again very interesting, because a lot of people don't want to have waiting periods for hypertension and diabetes. So this rider eliminates any kind of waiting period which could be due to hypertension or diabetes, because we have seen this in the past also, because whenever you have a waiting period for diabetes or hypertension, anything that arises could be related to a diabetes or hypertension, and the claim may not be payable in the first 2 years or 3 years, depending on the pre-ED waiting period. So in this situation, that can be completely avoided. Tiered network is something as a concept is coming up in the market a lot. I think Star Health and Care Health are the two companies who are really promoting it in a very big way. Tiered network is nothing but a network of hospitals which the insurance companies already tied up with, where they feel that they're getting a reduced rate for the surgeries, by which they can pass on that benefit to the customer. So if you opt for tiered network, as hospitalization only, and if you take that rider, you get a straight away 15% discount on your base premium. So that's actually good saving. People who are okay getting treatment only in the tiered network. But again, we'll understand that in a little bit more detail in the further slides. But just to give you an idea in terms of how much does it cost for a ReAssure 2.0 titanium, if you're looking at on a premium side, I'm just going to quickly throw some numbers just to give you an idea. A 35-year-old for a coverage of 10 lakhs in a zone 1, inclusive of GST, will pay a premium of 12,880. I mean, this is again with a 7% first step discount. So again, they've come up with something called as a 7% discount for first-time buyers of the policy. So again, I'm not a big fan of it, because you get discount only the first year, and second year again you have to pay the money. So that's something which we need to look for, how it really works out. But there's a 7% first step towards health insurance discount which is available, by which you get a 12,880 kind of a premium for a 35-year-old, and with Safeguard Plus rider, which I'm saying is a very important rider to have, it'll be around 14,490. So I think for a 10 lakh coverage, I think it's a very good premium to have in terms of all the, and this 10 lakh policy in the next 10 years will become a 1 crore kind of a cover. So it's again very interesting that way. And if you're covering with your spouse with the Safeguard Plus, the premium will be around 26,083. And if you're having a child along with the same family, then it's about 26,940 5 rupees the premium. So I think it's a very interesting way of looking at it. And if you did the same math, and if you did the tied network, you would get straight away 15% discount on the entire thing.